Powerhouse, presented by Alliant Energy.
Alliant Energy, we're on for you.
Welcome back to Powerhouse. If you have little ones around the house, or even if they only come to visit once in a while, you know how important their safety is.
That's right, but there could be some potential dangers you've overlooked or didn't even know existed. Today we're going to point out a few safety issues that many people miss and show you some ways that you can correct them very easily. Megan, I'm going to head to the family room.
That sounds good. I'll stay here in the kitchen. The stove is probably the most dangerous item in a kitchen. There's always that danger of children reaching up and touching a burner or pulling off a pan of hot food. This item, called a range guard, attaches to the front of the stove. When it's secured, it's low enough to allow the cook to move freely, but it's high enough to keep those little hands away from the burners and the pot handles. Another option for stove safety is a latch for the oven door. It bends like this, as you can see, and when it's secured, it fits on the side of the oven, and it prevents children from opening up the oven door. Now here's another danger that you might not have thought about. Appliance cords hanging over the edge of the counter. We're all guilty of it. Make sure you push your appliances to the back of the counter or store them in a cabinet when they're not in use. Locks like these are great for those low cabinets where you keep your cleaning chemicals or small appliances that might look like fun toys to a small child. And these are really easy to remove if the kids are just visiting.
Here in the family room, the main safety concerns for kids are electrical outlets and power cords. All electrical cords should be tucked away. Don't leave them laying across the floor where a child could trip over them. Keep all cords out of sight and out of reach. Remember, a cord as short as 12 inches is still long enough to strangle a child, so it's important to watch kids carefully whenever they're playing around any electrical devices. If you have a long cord that's in the way, you can use a cord shortener like this, and it's very easy to use. Just take your excess cord and wrap it around the spool, and this spool will hold up to 4 feet of extra electrical cord. Both ends you want to run out through the slots in the spool, put your top on, and it's out of the way. Outlets are dangerous for babies and toddlers, but it's pretty easy to make them safer. The most inexpensive way is with these small plastic outlet caps. They're effective, but they can be a little hard to remove if you need to use the outlet. Here are a couple of alternatives. They both cover the outlet and are attached with screws, but uncover easily when you need to use it. This model has a swivel cover and a hinge on the back kicks it back over. Now, if you have items plugged into an outlet, you can easily shield them from curious hands with a safety cover like this. Works very easily. Just goes right on top, snaps in.
Here in the bathroom, you probably know the #1 safety rule: keep all electrical devices away from water. Now, if your kids are old enough to use a hairdryer, make sure that they keep it away from the sink. And don't let them use a radio near the sink or the bathtub. And here's another safety concern that you might not have thought about: the hot water faucets. Your water heater is probably set to somewhere between 120 and 140 degrees, which is hot enough to scald a child. The most obvious way to prevent this from happening is to never let kids younger than 8 turn on a hot water faucet by themselves. Teach them to use the cold water faucet only. You can also avoid accidents by installing an anti-scalding device. Here's one designed for the shower. If the water temperature reaches 114 degrees, which is well below 120 degrees where scald injuries begin to occur, a special sensor will reduce the flow to a trickle, preventing burns.
The basement is another place full of danger. It's important to make sure kids know that equipment like water heaters and furnaces are off limits. Many gas leaks are the result of loose pipe fittings and connections caused by kids hanging from gas pipes or knocking into the gas meter or appliances. Some families keep a spare refrigerator or freezer in the basement or garage. While it might be handy for stocking up on supplies, it can be a hazard for young kids. An easy solution is a device like this multi-purpose latch. Let me show you how it works on our mini refrigerator here. You just install it on the top, or in our case, we put it on the side of the unit. Right now it's in the locked position. I can't get in. To open it up, I just press the tab and we can get in. To lock it, back in.